Welcome back to the Alexandrian Codex. I'm Alex. This is Boy 4. We are playing the Kaiserreich mod as Ireland. The Italians reply. Our attempt at flirting with Italian businesses has been a success. The shipbuilding company, Cantiere Ansaldo, has announced the construction of a new Dublin subsidiary. Dublin continues to expand and our populace will undoubtedly be glad for it. We are out of manpower. Damn. We gotta get Gerard out of there. The Agrarians take power in Bulgaria. Ooh. The Dutch reply are attempting at flirting with Dutch businesses has been a success. The Dutch airliner KLM Dutch Royal Airlines has announced the construction of a new Dublin subsidiary. Dublin continues to expand. Dope, we get an air base, which is it's something, I guess. I'm not crazy about it. The political power, however, is nice. Can we change to no, limited conscription is the best we have? Or now? Next up is mechanized farming reform, right? Do I just want to power through all of these? Yeah, I think... Nah, let's do immigration reform. The Irish population are eager and willing to work, but our nation is a small one. The state of our economy to date has been rather unimpressive and uninviting, but with recent developments spurred by the IEAA, perhaps we can begin improving the situation. Irish businesses would grow more quickly if we encourage immigration from other less developed nations. The agricultural reform drive. We've left our rural areas in a state of backwards insignificance for far too long. It's time we do something. Ireland is moving forward, and so too must our rural communities. Much of our industry has been traditionally relied upon agriculture, but times have changed. If we want to keep agriculture as a vital part of our economy, then we need to upgrade our farming facilities. Similarly, much of Ireland's road systems are in a state of complete disrepair, and currently the responsibility for repair work of any kind falls to private enterprise. Our transport network in general could be considerably improved, allowing us to move people and economic goods around the country at a more rapid rate. The situation calls for obvious economic expenditure, but we must keep national debt in mind. More radical changes will encourage the population more serious about dealing with the issue, however. Yeah. Spend as much as we can. The Cherokee Socialisti has taken power in Bulgaria? What are you? Oh. Social Democrats. With this in mind, and a general feeling no confidence from Bulgarian people themselves, the seizing power for themselves and quickly consolidating power under the new regime, whatever else may happen, although it seems Bulgaria certainly entangled itself in a rather turbulent state of affairs. War Bulgaria. Goodbye, Huey Long. The Canadians reply. Failure. Our attempts at flirting with Canadian businesses has sadly been a failure. The Canadians have decided to take a more protectionist approach to their domestic industries and have forbidden any foreign investments in Dublin. Dicks. Okay, so we can keep boosting military factories or naval dockyards. I'm gonna build enough military factories to have the same number of military factories if we do naval dockyards. A 1-to-1 ratio is probably not the best way to go, but I don't have any other guiding on that, so... any other intuition on that, so that's what I'm going with. Force rotation, not going to be useful until we can actually have airplanes. Going to necessitate having factories that we don't have. It's 1938, so let's get computing machines. Immigration reform, I forget what exactly it does. The Union replies, our attempts supporting with the Union of Britain businesses have been a success. The Vauxhall automobile manufacturer has announced the construction of a new Dublin subsidiary. While a syndicalist investment will strengthen our civilian economy and provide jobs to our people, it's possible it may have consequences in the long term. Benefits outweigh the possible risks, or we don't need syndicalist influence in Dublin. No, come on, we need the factory. I need the factory. Bad idea or not, I need more than 30 factories, so every one we get matters. The Commune replies. Our attempts at flirting with the French Commune businesses have been a success. Lorraine Dietrich, an automobile manufacturer, has announced construction of a new Dublin subsidiary. Yeah, benefits outweigh the risks. Probably. Maybe not, but just telling myself that to make myself feel better. Do that, that. Drop down another one of those. Cool. Alright. That'll do. Ah, and I'm actually building a battleship. Going to take a fucking long time. Swedish has been a success. Swedish heavy industry company Landsverk has announced the construction of a new Dublin subsidiary. Hells yeah. Serbia is at war with Illyria, which means they're at war with Austria, which means they're probably going to be at war with all of that. The Balkans are on fire. The Austrians reply it's a failure because they're at war. If only that could have waited another month. Oh no. Let's go free trade. We don't have any resources to worry about giving to market, so this is totally fine. I have no resources. Giving more of them to the market is not really affecting me significantly. Alright, Germany, hook me up. I need that steel, my dude. Serbia's capitulated already? Jesus Christ. Do I not have enough convoys? I don't have enough convoys for this, do I? Yep, I need one more convoy. Okay, well we'll just go ahead and click in here. Make me 10 convoys, and then go back to making battleships. That has affected our construction pretty significantly, but I need those resources to actually be able to make battleships in earnest. Immigration reform? Nope. Do I want to go down this road? No, Steel City. I want to start relying less on imported resources. Immigration. As part of the new IEAA initiative, the Dial have argued for the expansion of Ireland's immigration policies. Under British rule, immigration to Ireland was almost non-existent and actively discouraged. Now that Ireland is free and her economy growing at a rapid rate, there's an opportunity to start actively encouraging immigration. This process could prove extremely costly. However, significant funds will have to be invested in housing developments and administrative processes. There might also be social unrest with a large influx of immigrants arriving on Irish shores. Our choice of policy going forward will be very important for our nation, and it's important to consider potential consequences. Yeah. All the people. Give me all the people. Everyone is Irish. I desperately need manpower. Irish immigration, 1937 to 1938. The year of 1937 saw the world largely at war, with many seeking refuge as state abroad in safe harbors. The Irish government immigration laws and state of the world at large contribute to the increase in the nation's population. By a lot! Cool. Anniversary of the 1916 Easter Rising. Fantastic. Just make one of those. Super Heavy Battleship next up. Same assignment. Yeah. Steel City. Steel is an important resource, and one of the few that Ireland can reliably produce thanks to their existing natural resources and trade connections. Belfast used to have a decent steel industry, but much of the business is closed down and moved to Dublin during the 1925 ceasefire. We could rejuvenate the steelworks once again and reap the benefits. By that, I mean we desperately need to. Short Brothers Company, revolt in the Reichspakt. Oh, the Lithuanians. One thing at a time. Founded in England in 1908, the Short Brothers plc is a private aerospace company with some existing operations in Ulster. Having seen their business suffer significant losses thanks to the fate of the British Empire, they're now looking for new opportunities and see expansion in Ulster as their highest priority. We can subsidize their venture at some cost to our nation, but the benefits of having a prominent aerospace industry are obvious in peace and wartime. Yeah, throw money at them. We'll gain production cost reduction on fighters, CSA, fighter, fucking everything, get an air base, 2 military factories, definitely worth it. After the fall of the Russian Empire and the Weltkrieg, Germany occupied vast swaths of Eastern Europe, establishing puppet governments across it and creating the Reichspakt military alliance. This tightly knit alliance of countries was not meant to last, it seems, as Eastern Europe roared back to action this week with a revolt in the German sphere. The Lithuanians, led by Kaiserreich, their Vadas leader, have declared full independence from Germany. This has sparked a chain reaction in neighboring countries. Germany has moved with a military response, but will it be enough to crush the spirit of nationalism? Yeah, probably. It will almost certainly be enough. You need Steel City so I can stop importing quite so much steel from the Germans. Oh, actually, no. I will need that once these transports finish up. Yeah. The Spanish Civil War is spiraling. The American Civil War is almost over. South Africa had the nationalist win. You'll have a civil war shortly after, I'm sure. Kingdom of Poland. Oh. Poland ate them. Alright, Poland, Lithuania. Nice. Considers the economy. Yeah, we're keeping Collins. Poland's ideas aren't necessarily right, but we're gonna keep them all the same because we need that bonus. Core pop is not huge. Let's see, we have 104,000. Our total core population is 4.52 million. Which can go up with the immigration tree, so it's already gone up. I think when the game starts, it's somewhere around 4.4 million. That's an excellent question. Ireland's in a pretty decent position. This chain in particular is really, really good for giving Ireland a really strong basis. Thanks for following, by the way. This tree used to be a lot better. I think Ireland at one point could get to negative consumer goods demand. It may still be able to do that. But that was when Ireland tree was brand new, like a year or two ago. Yeah, let's focus on this. I'm not quite sure what direction I want to take Ireland in. We could join the Reichspakt, but why would we want to? we would get some security out of that, but we're never attacked anyway. Yeah, the CSA won the American Civil War. Imagine that. The United Mexican States are slowly beating the Pacific States. Dublin reborn. Our attempts to cultivate foreign investment in Dublin have been a resounding success. As a result, we now enjoy significant trade presence on the world's market. Ireland is no longer a backwater to be mocked or derided. She is truly the Emerald Isle. Ooh, trade deal opinion. That's potentially helpful. But, you know, only potentially helpful. Okay. We'll have some more steel here shortly, so we won't have to throw away yet another civilian factory. I already feel bad about how many civilian factories I'm dedicating to trade right now. But I'm really wanting to make battleships. Meh. That would be okay. This could be good, but let's just focus down the immigration tree. Now, let's finish the mechanized focus, then immigration, then we'll come back to this. The Belfast steel industry. The steel industry in Belfast has been decaying for years, until the government's recent efforts to rejuvenate it through the passing of the IEAA. There's room for a significant expansion of our steel industries in Belfast if these funds could be made available, to expand the existing steelworks and subsidies providing to hire new workers. This would provide us with substantially more steel than our present investment allows, but will also run up the national debt. Massively fund it. Just fucking all the steel. Please, God. I need so much more steel than we have right now. Well, really, I'm sitting at only 3 positive. Dang, okay. Ah, we're sitting at only 3 positive because we're export focused right now. Because we're export focused, what little steel we have is going overseas. I don't regret that. I feel like for the time being, at least the factory output, dockyard output, construction speed, and research time are great. Yeah, paratroopers are... The AI sucks at responding to paradrops though, so it feels gimmicky. You're right. If I were just doing this to take over all the things, paratroopers would be the way to go. But the AI is not really good at responding. It gets very easily overwhelmed, which feels cheaty to me. I know that's a poor explanation, but I feel bad. It's punching down at that point. Though battleships are a huge waste of manpower that we wouldn't have to waste on transport planes if we went with transports. There's definitely some real validity to that. I'm tempted to start making some planes. Let's not make a lot of planes. Let's just... one plane. One factory making fighters. The Indo-Chinese revolt succeeds. No surprise there. There's Indochina. Indochina has a whole focus tree. I should really play as them sometime. Brazilian Civil War. Do we not get a pop-up about... Nope, guess it's not. Brazil is apparently not important enough to warrant a pop-up about their civil war. There's infantry equipment I'm not going to be immediately making good use of. Naval doctrine, let's just make our battleships even better. You have them, might as well use them. Did I read this? I didn't read this. There's no doubt that the farming industry is one of the biggest in our nation. The current agricultural techniques used, however, leave a lot to be desired. Through adopting the sort of advances in mechanization seen in the United States and Europe, we can bring our farms up to speed. Farms feed the people, and therefore they're the lifeblood of growth. That's insane. That is a ridiculous number of planes. One, I would like to see an eventual rework of how air warfare works, because just the obscene number of planes that the AI produces can be a little overwhelming. There we go, that's done. Rural renovations and maintenance board. We'll read that in a second. Because of our expansive investment policy, we've seen fit to implement more further-reaching farming reforms than would have been possible. Mechanizing our great farms will financially help Ireland overcome the shadow of the Great Famine and will help our population to grow. Yes. Monthly population growth +5, supply consumption -5. So total bonus from this is monthly population plus 7.5, consumption -10. Nice. The rural areas of Ireland are in need of considerable renovation and maintenance. There is currently no public body tasked with doing these repairs, leaving rural communities to rely on notoriously unreliable private businesses. Putting this into government hands will keep our roads well maintained and in good repair. A national maintenance team will also, no doubt, have benefits should the nation be at war. Russia and Kaiserreich, so long as it doesn't get completely overwhelmed by having 4 wars happening at once, is really nothing to mess around with. Once they get their feet under them after the first few years of the game, they can be quite something. I've never seen an AI Ireland do much of anything. Like, they have all of these really great bonuses, and they start growing and being able to be treated like a middleweight power, but they never really do much. We could switch over fairly easily to paratroopers, I suppose. And maybe it would be better if we focused on that instead of building any... Yeah, tell you what. Let's just build military factories everywhere. The Union of Britain doesn't have a huge navy, so we don't have a ton to compete with here. Our real issue for this is going to be oil and rubber, but we can potentially cross that bridge when we get to it. Excavation will do very little for us here. Go ahead and grab encryption, which won't be useful for a while. Yeah, I've tried invading Ireland as the Union of Britain before. It can be really tricky because of all the bonuses they get, like you're saying. Unless you paradrop or throw the entire fucking kitchen sink at them, Ireland can be really hard to take over. But for Ireland to project that power is a slightly different question. Then again, the Union of Britain tends to do a not so great job at defending its island. The National Network. The railway infrastructure left in place by Britain is functional but lacking in comparison to new high-speed rail infrastructure being constructed in Europe. We should learn from our continental neighbors and make an effort to modernize our railways. This will also have a significant effect on our industry's productivity, allowing us to get raw materials more easily to our factories. We can live with potholes, or no, full speed ahead. These events used to be a lot more give and take when political power affected your stability, but I don't think Ireland has been reworked since the changes to stability, political power, and war support have been done. So a lot of these are just like, hey, you want to spend political power with no ramifications? Sure, yeah, why not? No biggie. The Irish Rural Renovations and Maintenance Board work to diligently repair damaged infrastructure. In times of war, they can also be put to use repairing factories and other vital emplacements. Thanks to a heavy investment by the government, the Maintenance Board is extremely efficient. Bye-bye Ottomans? Yeah, bye-bye. You haven't turned in Turkey yet, but soon. Soon. I don't think I've seen the Kingdom of Spain win a civil war in quite some time. Go, Spain, go! $3 a month. That's not ideal, but it's something. Now, I could modify these. I could switch off a free trade, but... nah. What if instead... I went with this chemical company to make our military factories build faster, even though I'm not spending nearly enough factories on them, or dedicating enough factories. Are these 39 techs? It's almost 39. Construction 3. Wow, that's actually quite good. The free infrastructure, factory output, production efficiency cap. Yeah. Ireland is not at all bad. Not in the least. But you do have to build up to the point where you can actually project power instead of just having it, or assuming it. Okay, hook me up. Hook me up. Oh, don't talk to me. Yeah. $38. What was I? Oh, yeah. These boys would be perfect. We're still building. Look, we have enough infantry equipment. What we really need is manpower, and that's going to come with immigration over time, or it's not going to come at all. Point being, let's cut that down. Let's put it into you. Yeah, that's cool. So, steel we're wanting mostly for our battleships, but I don't need them at all for anything else. So these steel imports, for the time being, let's cut them out. That's still not enough aluminum, really. Okay, oh, nope, there we go. Now we'll be building 3 factories. God, really did not feel like a substantial change. This is slower, but it's still going. Irish immigration. Watch this go from 12k to 16k. It's free people. Hard to complain about. Fighters will give us air superiority. Transports will let us drop people. Oh, I should probably look into naval bombers so we can blow up their ships and protect our transports. Okay, that's a couple of things. Saudi Arabia and Iran are at war. Really? Okay, well, fair enough. Ireland investment. We have successfully taken steps towards modernizing our railway system, which will certainly help in the movement of people and goods around our nation. Our budget allows us to take this a step further, however, and even make more dramatic changes, but they'll come at a cost. Yeah, spend. Lots of infrastructure, production efficiency, yeah, good. The death of W.B. Yeats. The famous poet and one of the founders of the Dublin Abbey Theatre, William Butler Yeats, has died today. He was a driving force between the Irish literary revival, and in 1923 he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature. He also served as a politician for 2 terms after the Irish War of Independence, but retired in 1928 due to poor health. Kinda sad. Alright. Next up, Improved Safety Regulations Act. Industrial accidents, factory sicknesses, and other mishaps are frighteningly common in Irish industry. The lack of proper safety standards has been a cause for concern among the workers and have seen them turn increasingly towards syndicalism. We can all agree that no worker should feel like their workplace is a dangerous environment. It's time to make a change. Yeah. How much steel would I have if we extract? So if I switched over to no exports, I would have enough steel to use everything I'm needing. But that would come at a fairly significant cost of factory output, dockyard output, construction speed, and research time. Decisions. Mobile defense? Nope. Let's keep that going. I want to put line artillery in there, but I haven't done that yet, so I don't know which one of these I'm going to choose at the moment. Go. Grab me some paratrooper tech. By incorporating airborne forces into our army. I am an idiot. You should have been training. Just so I can get tiny amounts of army experience. You should have been training a long time ago. Which all of you to paratroopers. Yeah, the fall of Barcelona. The Kingdom of Spain won. How about that? Way to go. Spanish Civil War over. The Spanish Civil War is finally over. It seems the Kingdom of Spain has emerged triumphant. Much of the countryside lies in ruins, but the Spanish government announced that the anarchist and syndicalist threats have finally been dealt with. This is a triumph for King Alfonso XIII, though the king is unlikely to know of it, having fallen into a coma shortly before the war broke out. That's sad. Imagine waking up from a coma and finding that, like, your country had been in a civil war, millions of people had fought and died to keep you in power, and, like, intellectually knowing that something had happened, but not actually intuitively knowing or having a relationship to the conflict that goes on to define your nation's culture for the next, 5, 10, 20 years. That experiential disconnect from the people would be a very bad position for a leader to fall into. Irish women in the workplace. Ireland has in the past been a principally conservative nation, held in thrall to the Catholic Church. Irish republicanism and nationalist movements have begun to influence opinion, however, and there's a growing demand for women to be emancipated from the home and granted more independence, creating more employable workers and boosting our economy. You have so many national spirits, Jesus Christ. Not at all an issue, but it is pretty funny. Well, it may be that San Diego might not fall. Pacific states might have this handled. And this is just going to be a perpetual state of war down here. The Qing did end up taking this, and Germany didn't demand it from them. Mongolia is at war with Russia, and Russia's at war with Japan. This is pretty typical. So Russia's going to stall out unless they get very lucky, which I doubt. Highly doubt. Who won in South Africa? Germans. Okay, fair enough. Oh, South wins again. German Empire is declared on the Socialist Republic of Georgia. Really? You went with this. Can you even reach Georgia? I suppose you can. The Don Cuban Union is... No, it's not in the Reichsbank. So that's gonna have some weird stuff happen. 1939, yeah? Let's grab that. Special forces? Acclimatization gain factor. Yeah, let's do this. Make our paratroopers better. I have not used paratroopers dedicatedly in a very, very long time. My paratrooper game is in serious need of improvement, I suspect. That seems like a decent production chain. Decent. Through the Ukraine. Consider the economy. Collins is always right. How dare you question Collins? This man is our government. It's a fighter manufacturer. But they wouldn't be any cheaper, but they would be better once we research new fighter models next year. I should do this, actually, because we're researching new infantry equipment right now, so improved infantry equipment would be for the best. Additional attack, some defense. It's fine. Research time reduced by 10%. That's pretty nice. How much is our overall reduction? 28% right now. Dang. I like it. So the kingdom of... Jesus Christ. You have so many puppets. Social conservatives won, and you're going status quo, so you're just puppeting all the things. Okay, Austria. Not to be fucked with. Don't have a lot of power on their own, but they have Albania, Greece, Serbia, Romania, Hungary, Illyria, Bohemia, and Galicia, Lodomeria. They don't have Bulgaria. Oddly enough. National tax reform. With a rapid economic change in our country, it's time we start addressing our taxation laws. A modern tax plan will allow the government more economic freedom to make decisions for our nation. Of course, any such plan needs to be considered carefully. We wouldn't want to overtax the Irish people. Don't want to overtax them, don't want to undertax them. Yeah, I'm definitely not getting more aluminum that way. I'm gonna save up political power. We might switch to limited exports. I'm not crazy about it, but it would be a good way to hold on to the resources we have. Particularly, I'll be thinking about that once we go through our smelting industry and all this. Hopefully at that point... Childish fantasy. Germans losing the First World War? Never. How many factories are we at total? It's 13 plus civilian factories. Not great. 24. So I need 6 more factories in order to hit that 30 mark. Uniting the nation. Promote the Irish language. Irish scouts. Ah, that's nice. Yeah. Maybe Ireland on the world stage. If we choose to go alone, it's only going to give us political power. We'll switch to limited exports. Okay, I don't have to waste political power on switching to limited exports. I can just go down ourselves alone, and autarky. Yeah, okay. Military industry would also give us military... Yeah. Yeah, okay, so we'll wrap up the industrial tree, then reform the armed forces, use this and this to get our factories hopefully up to 30, then we'll grab this. And no. Maybe, no. Okay, nope. Nothing in there. People's Army, Honorable Army. Okay, those might be nice just for combat bonuses, but I'm not seeing... That could be nice for additional population. Recruitable population factor 25%. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that would be very good. Female soldiers is very, very good. I'm a fan of that. Yeah, okay. That's an okay plan. I'll run with that. Paratrooper 2. Transitioning from small operations with only a few paratroopers to larger airborne divisions paves the way for massive airborne landings, taking these forces beyond a novelty to a natural part of warfare. If you're right. Yeah, Jesus, this is going to be expensive. It's going to be very expensive to outfit, but possible. Or I could just have a swarm of tiny, tiny paratrooper divisions. Ah, that's a real possibility. I actually don't hate that. So let's go for that. That would exceed our Special Forces cap. What is our Special Forces cap? 8. We are currently fielding 0 and training 0 of our allowed 24 Special Forces battalions. 8 divisions using this template. Oh, interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Paratroopers. Interesting. Okay, that's a pretty good limitation on that. So it's limited by number of battalions? Yeah. Huh. Okay, I kind of like that. I wonder what that limit is set for. Is that expandable here? Here? It says I have a limit, which, okay, cool, I have a limit, but wherein am I told that limit? And how might I modify it? If at all. Eh, maybe I can't affect it at all. If not, that's fine. That's fine. National tax reform is done. Irish zinc mining. Tax reforms. Over time, since the passage of the IEAA and the economic and industrial revolution that accompanied it, Ireland has grown slowly into a more prosperous nation. With that growing prosperity, however, the taxation of Irish citizenry has fallen behind. The people currently pay very little in the way of taxes, leaving something of an empty hole in parts of the government's treasury that could otherwise be filled. The government has decided to remedy the issue by increasing national taxation rate. A higher rate will of course provide much needed economic freedom to government, but will not be without social consequences. Ah, okay, so we can go for high taxes, which reduces consumer goods factories by 5%, but stability by 5%. So I'm just going to police crackdown to increase our weekly stability. I'm going to go ahead and do this. It's going to hurt our stability, but that's fine. I'll just make a concentrated effort to artificially raise it. And hopefully that'll be okay. Can that garrison area thing go away? No, we'll just look away. Look away. Alright, it is now eve of 1939. Is there anything else in here I wanted to grab? Don't think so. Artillery, I don't think I'm going to... I'm tempted, but for support, integrated support. Recon companies. Yeah, let's fuck with our production a little bit. don't need much, but I would like some support equipment. The Irish government have recently passed a major tax reform law enabling collection of much higher taxes from their citizenry. This has come at a cost of some social discord. And there's the Valkyrie. Yep. Oh, independent Belgium rejoined Britain. Cool. Britain. Germany. The United Baltic Duchy is a puppet, but they're not involved in the war. The Socialist Republic of Georgia is still completely unaffected by the previous war declaration. I wonder if the Germans are actually ready. How's it looking? 141 to 240 divisions. They definitely should outnumber the French. Their industrial capacity is higher, naval capacity is higher, number of planes, just about everything looks higher here, except for manpower. French can absolutely drown them in dudes. For better or worse. Let's do integrated support. How many am I rocking? How about I have 42? Maybe 60? Just... yeah, that'll do. Just... destroy my manpower. That's okay. We can always enact better laws, and with immigration we should get more people at some point. Odd to see Belgium make the first push, but that's because this region is less fortified than here. Also less... no rivers in here. Forests, but no rivers. Union of Britain getting pulled in. Well, the time might be soon that we should strike at the Union of Britain. The only issue is... do I have enough aircraft? No. Not really. Special Forces is complete. Alright, so this is slightly ahead of time, so this is a 1940 tech. We can either go down Special Force Capacity Multiplier, so more Special Forces, which I like. Defense and Organization. Yeah, of the two, I definitely go with Expanded Special Forces Program. To get more paratroopers. Paratroopers are nice in small divisions. I can make the divisions bigger, naturally, but the advantage of paratroopers is not their ability to overwhelm your enemy, it's their ability to be dropped all over fucking everything and immediately capitulate large regions, giving you a strategic advantage. Got upgrades. I'm only making one of these? Good. Good. Party popularity seems to be stable. Stability is no longer growing. It should be going up. Is this not going up? Oh yeah, it is. It's going up half a percentage per week. Oh, that's fine then. Well, the Pacific states have lost a tiny bit of land, but they really are making Mexico pay for every inch. We're expanding Dublin's smelting industry. The smelting industry in Dublin presently affords us a very small amount of aluminum. If we were to give this industry significant funding, we could dramatically increase the amount of aluminum we receive, increasing our trade leverage and fueling our industries. Now, yeah. It's the eve of 39. Get us some better computing tech. I don't know the ratio of transport planes to air divisions. That'll be fine. Figure it out. Russia is... it's holding-ish? Japan does this every game now, this weird border gore mess. I don't think this is exclusive to Kaiserreich. I think this is a Hoi 4 problem at this point, because this happens in vanilla as well. It's really gross. I think if... yeah, I don't really understand why they do that. I think their Transamur has claims on it, so it should go to them. But Japan wants to occupy it and maintain supply? I don't really understand. German spies have recently revealed a mysterious and in some ways horrifying project taken up by the French and British, dubbed the Damocles Project. It's an extensive multi-nation study into the destructive power of nuclear fission, seeking to unearth any possible weaponization possibilities of this phenomena. The famous German physicist Albert Einstein warns that a successful nuclear bomb might even be able to turn entire cities into ash. German intelligence agencies have shared the information about this project to their closest allies, but most of the world is still left unaware of it. However, experts disagree on whether this weapon is feasible or if this is just science fiction gone too far. Oh, Zinc Industry makes radar stations faster to construct. Electronic research time reduced. The German Navy, the Kriegsmarine, should be able to declaw the Navy of the Union of Britain and Commune of France, creating an opportunity for us to sneak in. Still at 11 civilian factories. 14 and 11, that's only 25. So we're still 5 factories short of our end goal. And I suspect that these won't give us any factories. Going down this chain will get us to 26, 27, 28, 29. So we'll need to build one more factory in the time it takes to go through military industry, naval industrial focus, reforming the armed forces, and foreign exploitation contracts. Then we can get Great Green Leap Forward, giving us our final research slot. Provided at that point we don't want to get in on the curb stomping of the syndicalists. Assuming that the war goes that way. If the war doesn't go that way, we might take our time. CSA at war with the PSA. And United Mexican States at war with the PSA as well. Interesting. Foreign exploitation contracts. Aluminum in Dublin. Prior to our expansion through the IEAA Act, Dublin had a small and underfunded aluminum industry, and we can now choose to boost further through extended funding. Yeah. So we're going to need that aluminum later. Give them all that they want. Absolutely. That might free up. Nope. Just makes it so we're no longer in the red for aluminum. Fair enough. Fair enough. Irish immigration 1939 to 1940. World's at war. So we get 4,000 more people. Doesn't seem like a lot, but yeah, every bit helps. Recon company. Okay, so what I want to do, add a recon company to this. Can I actually afford that? We need 100... Alright, yeah, we need a little bit more support equipment, but absolutely. Cool. Let's get better recon companies.
Listen up.
And that will be quite nice.
Ready, sir.
What? Oh, Liberia. Liberia went totalist. Goodbye, Liberia. This will not end well for you, I'm afraid. Not well at all. Bhutan has been annexed, and then re-released as a vassal, or a puppet. Core population is now almost 5 million. Liberia's capitulated? No. What? No. How could they? What a surprise. We need more oil, apparently, because the Pacific states are no longer trading with us. That makes sense. Let's go with Iran. Are you at war with anyone? Wait, are you in Saudi Arabia still at war? No, you're allied. Okay, yeah, sure. Let's trade with the Iranians. How much do I actually need? No, I have enough oil from just that one. Good. Oh, border regions. Fuck. The Germans aren't losing. It'd be nice to be able to hop in and see the war score. Or get some indication of who's winning and who's losing, beyond just making abstract estimates based on how borders move. Because, you know, in the time period, newspapers definitely posted stories about, like, news from the Western Front, or, you know, German troops 10 miles away from Paris, or something like that. It'd be cool to get some sort of update, beyond just, well, there seems to be some fighting here. We don't know anything about it, though. Maybe intelligence needs to be expanded on a little bit. I don't want Hoi 3 style intel, though, because that was work. That was annoying amounts of work. Alright, well, we're at the end of another hour. If you're watching on Twitch, that's not going to change anything, but if you're watching on YouTube, that means that I'm going to put in a cut here, as we're wrapping up for today. Stop by again tomorrow for some more of this, and some more of whatever else I've been streaming and playing. Probably, at the same time of this, we would have just wrapped up one Kaiserreich series. We're probably still playing Stellaris New Horizons. I'm probably still playing Knights of the Old Republic, and there's something else, but I can't remember. Anywho, just go check it out. I'll be back tomorrow. Till then, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Toodaloo, take care. Bye-bye, YouTube.